Hello, hello, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for choosing to practice with me this evening. As we move through this practice today, feel free to get cozy. You can keep your socks on if that feels comfortable for you. If you have a warm, cozy hoodie, feel free to put that on because this practice is all about slowing down. We will be doing different movements that will be working in opposite directions with different planes of movement in order for you to switch on the left and right side of your brain. That will allow you to feel tired and sleepy, but also to help you focus on the present moment. So with that being said, we're going to start our practice on our back. So if you can come to a lying down position. And just take a moment here just to acknowledge where you are, just to relax, make any adjustments that you need with your clothes, and bring your feet all the way down. Take a moment just to land into the body. And then just acknowledge wherever the breath is. At this point, there's no reason to try and change it. Just simply acknowledge that the breath is always there with us. The next time you inhale, can you raise your right leg all the way up into tabletop position, keeping a 90-degree bend at the knee, and then just rotating your ankle over towards the right, drawing circles with your toes, and then change direction over towards the left. The next time you inhale, raising your right arm all the way up and above your head for a stretch. Pointing your toes as you stretch in opposite directions, like you're waking up for the first time. Placing your right hand towards your right knee as you push your knee into your hand, and your hand pushes back into your knee. Notice how this tension starts to creep up. And notice where the breath goes in these times of tension. Do you find yourself trying to hold your breath as you work through this push-pull motion between your knee and your hand? Can you try to elongate the exhales here? And then bringing your right foot all the way to touch the mat. Stepping your left foot to meet it. And then bringing your left arm down, right arm up as you slowly lift and raise the hips in bridge position. On the exhale, swapping and alternating your arms, dropping the hips. And on the inhales, pushing into the feet, raise up the hips. 2 more just like that. Arms moving in opposite directions as your hips go high. And the next time you come down towards the mat, just bring both arms down by your side. Crossing your right ankle over your left knee and taking your right hand towards your knee and pushing your knee away from you. Often times when we're moving through our yoga practice, we can find it quite nice to move through the movements. But often when we come into stillness is when the thoughts about the day or whatever's happened start to creep in. So if that happens throughout this practice, just acknowledge it, and then you can always come back to your breath. Noticing the subtle rise and fall in your chest. The inflation of the belly. Then interlacing your hand behind your left thigh and pulling it slightly towards you, just enough so that you can feel some tension in your right glute. You'll feel that glute start to switch on, and a small stretch there. Take a gentle sway from side to side, massaging your lower back on the mat. Your obliques and your abs may switch on here to stop you from rolling too far in one direction. And just bringing your left foot back down towards the mat, taking your right foot all the way out straight. On your next inhale, bringing your left foot all the way up into the tabletop position, and then rotating your ankle over towards the left. Drawing circles with your toes once more, and then alternate the direction. Pausing there and raising your right arm up for a big stretch as you push your toes in opposite direction away from you, and your arms and fingertips reach up. Exhaling here, taking your left hand to your left knee as you find that pull-push motion here. So pushing your hand into your knee and actively pushing your knee into your hand. Where does your breath go? Can you acknowledge the restriction within the breath? And try to tell your nervous system that you're okay here. Dropping your left foot back down towards the mat. This time bringing your hands by your side and stepping your right foot on the mat once more. We're moving into bridge pose. As we move through this time, I want you to focus solely on your back, on each vertebrae as you tilt your pelvis and peel each vertebrae off the mat as slowly as you possibly can, pushing the weight into your heels as you raise your hips higher. And then on the exhale, dropping slowly back down to the mat. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Notice the gentle tilt in your pelvis at the bottom, and then tilt the opposite direction as you pull your hips towards you and peel your spine off the mat. One more time like that, as slow as you possibly can. Bringing your left ankle towards your right knee and pushing into your left knee as you open up that hip on the left side. We often hold a lot of tension in our hips. So it's always good if you feel like you've had a particularly tough day to just do some little stretches and tap into any emotions that you may be feeling. Can you actively send the exhales into your hip to open up a little bit further? And then interlacing your hands behind your right thigh as you pull your leg in closer towards you, and just acknowledging that gentle stretch on the left-hand side. If this feels too much, you can just release a little bit and come back down towards the mat. If you want more, you can pull your thigh in a little bit more towards you to feel more of that stretch in your left glute. And take that gentle sway from one side and the other. Just gently rocking your left knee like a baby. And the next time you come over towards the right, can you come all the way down, stepping your foot onto the floor, using your hands to push yourself up into a seated position with your eagle wrapped legs. Next time you inhale, raise both arms up, looking towards the ceiling, and on the exhale, twisting over towards the right. Looking over your right shoulder. With every inhale, elongate the spine, and with every exhale, find a bit more of a twist. On your next inhale, coming back up to center, raise both arms up, and on the exhale, over towards the left. This time, an opportunity to hook your right elbow onto your left knee, and again, use that push-pull motion. So actively pushing your right elbow into your left knee as you turn and look over your left shoulder. Think of this stretch as wringing out any emotions that may have happened throughout the day. And just acknowledge them and then use this time to just let them go. On your next inhale, raise both arms up. And on the exhale, we're twisting all the way over. So you can watch me before you do this. So we're twisting, twisting, twisting over towards the right, all the way until you come into a cross-legged position on the opposite side. Once you reach here, placing both of your hands towards your knees as you roll your shoulder blades down behind your back. On the inhale, pushing the chest forward, raising the chin. And on the exhales, curling and rounding in. Finding a mini cat-cow here. Inhale, opening the chest, and the exhales, dropping your head towards your chin to your chest and arching your spine. 2 more like that. In your own time, in your own breath. And then coming back into a neutral spine, dropping your left ear over towards the left. Tuck your chin to your chest as you draw semicircles and your ear over towards the right. Tucking your chin to the chest and semicircle over towards the left. Just keep going like that in your own time, in your own breath. And the next time you come into a neutral spine, interlace your hands in front of you and then bring them behind your head. And we're so used to doing crunches that often we feel we need to crunch forward. And this time I'd like you to do the opposite. So I'd like you to open up your elbows and actively push your head and neck into your palms. And notice how you'll find that deep stretch across your shoulders. You may feel it like within your armpits and down behind your back. Using your hands as a pillow as you push your head into your palms. Breathing here. Bringing your hands back down by your sides and then walking your hands out towards the mat, finding all fours position. Once you get there, taking your right leg all the way out to the side and pushing it into the floor, grounding down into that right foot. Leave your left hand on the mat as you twist open towards the right. Right arm goes all the way up. Hold it here. On your next exhale, bringing your right arm all the way above the head as you drop your glutes towards your feet. And on your inhale, open up And on the exhale, dropping your glutes towards your feet once more. Inhale, open. Exhale, drawing back down. This time when you come open, dropping your right hand back down towards the mat and lifting your right foot all the way up behind you. Breathing in here, and on your next exhale, crossing your right knee over your left, look over your left shoulder and drop your right knee towards the mat. Inhale, raise your right leg up, and exhale, sort of like a curtsy behind you. Twice more like that. And then bringing your right leg all the way back down to all fours position. And we'll do the same on the opposite side. So taking your left leg all the way out to the side, planting it down, grounding into that left foot on the floor, and then keeping your right hand on the mat, twisting open towards the left, stacking the shoulders here and actively pushing the floor away. Inhale deep and exhale, dropping your hand above your head towards the front of the mat as you sink your glutes towards your feet. Inhale, opening up, and the exhale, dropping the glutes. Opening here, sending it back. Find this ripple and this flow, and take this at your own pace, at your own time. Next time you come forward and opening up the chest, dropping your left hand back down towards the mat and raising your left leg all the way up behind you. Again, we're going into that curtsy lunge, so looking over your right shoulder as you send your left leg all the way across the mat, dropping it down behind your right knee, raising it up once more and dropping it back down. You may start to feel the stretch within the glutes. And this time, the next time you drop your knee down, you drop it all the way down to the mat, wherever it lands, and then unravel and twist, dropping your glutes again, wherever they land. We're twisting our legs and coming back into that eagle wrap position on the opposite side. Once you get there, raise the arms up on the next inhale. Exhale, twisting over towards the left. Inhale, raising the arms up. And exhale, twisting over towards the right. This time, again, opportunity to hook your left elbow onto your right knee and actively find that push-pull motion. Looking over your right shoulder as you find the twist. We're wringing out any emotions, anything that may have come up today. And we're just letting it go. On the next inhale, raise the arms up. And on the exhale, cactusing the arms, coming all the way down. Rolling over the knees, finding an all fours position once more. This time tucking the toes, sending your hips all the way back for your first downward dog. We spent a lot of time on the floor, quite close to the mat. So feel free to walk out your dog if this may be the first time you've come into your downward dog today. Looking forward, slowly walk your feet all the way towards the top of the mat and just hang out here in a forward fold. You can grab both elbows, find a little bit of a sway as you relax down, keeping a bend in the knees. Just get a sense of a heavy, weighted blanket right across your shoulder blades, bringing you further down. Notice how if you drop your head and neck, you'll feel each vertebrae starting to separate, and perhaps a little bit more space in your back. On your next inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, dropping down to your knees and then coming all the way down to your chest. On the inhale, little cobra. Exhale all the way down, lying down. Bringing your right arm all the way out towards the side and then bending at your left knee, rolling over towards the right as you find a twist here. Opening up across the back of the shoulders. If this feels too much, you can always keep your legs straight and actively push into your left hand so that you can find a bit more of a twist, or option to step onto your left foot and roll over the right shoulder a little bit more if that feels good for you. And take a moment here just to acknowledge where you are, how you're feeling. And are you holding your breath? Can you tap into it and let it go? Coming back to center, and we'll do the same on the opposite side. So bringing your left arm all the way out to the side, keeping a bend in your right knee, pushing your right hand into the mat as you roll over towards the left. Find the twist there. Take a moment just to soften. Rolling back onto your belly. Pushing into your palms as you come all the way back into child's pose, taking your knees slightly wider than the mat as you drop your forehead to the mat. Feel your shoulders start to relax. Soften at your hips. Walking your hands forward once more and then come to your back. So twisting over, lying on your back. And we're going to bring our right knee up once more, the same as we started in that 90-degree angle. Inhale, raise both arms up. And then exhale, taking your left hand towards your right knee and twisting it over towards the left. You can actively look towards the right. Keeping your hand in a sort of right angle cactus shape on the mat. Opportunity to stay here if it feels good. Or if you want a little bit more, if you feel any extra tension in the shoulders, there's an opportunity to just release that. So focus on keeping your elbow actively touching the mat. And then think about those little Japanese cats that you often see in restaurants where they are bowing their arm. And keeping your elbow touching the mat, can you bow your hand forwards and backwards? And just notice how the shoulder joint twists each time you do that. If you feel a spot that feels particularly good, option to just hold it there. Bring your arm back into that upwards cactus position if it's not already there, and then rolling back onto your back. Sending your right leg all the way out and bringing your left leg in towards you 90 degrees. Raise the arms up. And on the exhale, taking your right hand over to your left knee and twisting over towards the right, looking over towards the left, bringing your left arm back into that cactus position. Taking a moment just to settle here. Wringing out anything that doesn't serve you. And if you took that isolating shoulder movement on the opposite side, then feel free to do it on this side as well. Keeping your elbow to the mat as you take your hand across, up and down. And send your intention and your awareness to that shoulder joint. You may feel some pops and some crunches as the shoulder starts to release. And again, if you feel a spot that feels good, just hold it there. Taking your hand back into that cactus position and then rolling over onto your back. Dropping your left leg all the way out to the side. This time when you raise your hands up, taking your feet out away from you as well. That morning stretch like you've just woken up. And then take a moment just to melt into the mat. Bringing your knees in towards you. And rolling over to your left-hand side. Find a comfortable spot here. Make any adjustments that feel good for you. And then you can take your shavasana from this position. Scanning from the forehead, in between the eyebrows, loosening the jaw. Noticing your ribs touching the mat, perhaps your hip bones, your knees, your ankles. And just letting any tension roll out of the feet. Take as much time as you need here. And I hope after this practice you have a really beautiful and restful night's sleep.